Baltimore's violence gripping the city for years on end, driven by a number of factors, with the focus right now on the youngest offenders, spending more time on the streets than in the classroom.
We lost a lot of kids by closing the schools.
Jason Johnson, a former deputy BPD commissioner, says while some people argue the spike in youth violence is a result of pandemic-era learning, he thinks the problem is bigger than virtual classrooms.
It's not just a temporary problem. We have a whole generation of kids that has sort of tuned out from education, have gotten more involved in criminal activity.
And in Baltimore, even if students are in school, their performance is in question. Fox 45 News' Project Baltimore reporting on plummeting test scores, graduation rates, ghost students, and enrollment problems. All while City School CEO Sonia Santelises earning more than $375,000 a year, making her the highest paid school leader in the entire state of Maryland. Meanwhile,
investing in community-based solutions.
As teen after teen are arrested in connections to shootings and homicides in the city.
Do you think that some schools in Baltimore City that are underperforming are connected to the crime problem that we're seeing in Baltimore right now?
I think that everything in Baltimore is connected to what we're seeing in the crime problem in Baltimore. What we're seeing is a complete and total connection in every facet of life in Baltimore.
Would you say that the schools right now are setting students up or young people in Baltimore City for success?
And we know that so many more of our young people are actually pushed out for success than the few that we unfortunately are not. And we know that we have to be better every day.
But the data from city schools shows a different story. A graduation rate down to 69%. Even fewer are enrolling in college. And attendance rates down to nearly 80% compared to nearly 88% in 2017.
If more students were coming out of school prepared and they had a better path outside of high school, do you think that the crime in the city would be lower?
What I'll say, Mackenzie, is that crime and why people commit it isn't that simple. We have to evolve again our way of thinking when we're talking about making these connections. Sometimes it is connected to how someone grew up or what their situation was or their education. Sometimes it's not.
While schools are connected to the pipeline to crime, Johnson also points to the lack of consequences.
It is the singular biggest reason is a lack of accountability or in some cases maybe a perceived lack of accountability.
An issue facing Baltimore's top prosecutor Marilyn Mosby, who is no longer prosecuting low-level crimes, all while the city is again on pace to see homicides of record numbers.